Chelsea and I got to go to Universal's Halloween Horror Nights in Hollywood for a preview showing with the guy who actually makes and designs all these mazes, John Murdy. So spoilers for the Poltergeist house ahead, because that was one of the ones that he walked us through and told us all about. It was really cool getting to walk through this with the lights on. I mean, mostly on. They were still flashing, but it was so cool to like look up and see the scaffolding and all the infrastructure that goes into making these mazes. And to just be able to walk around and appreciate the design and the props and everything without being chased out of each room by a scare actor or by one of the people standing in the corner with the flashlights going like, all right, keep it moving, keep moving. Bless those people, they're just doing their job. Thanks, guys. The Poltergeist house was there in 2018, and in fact, the giant skull that scares you near the end, that was the background on my phone for years. I thought it was so cool when it popped out. I snapped a picture of it. Yeah, that was my phone background. Well, that thing's back, and they actually had to recreate it because apparently they lent the original to someone who was doing the Day of the Dead stuff, and they painted it like a sugar skull. So they 3D printed a new one, and I think he said it was carbon fiber. It looked pretty light. He was kind of moving it back and forth. I was surprised. The other thing that struck me with the Poltergeist house was Murdy was talking about how automated a lot of the things are now, which I would have assumed a lot of them had always been automated, from the clown under the bed to some of the pictures on the wall shaking back and forth. But apparently back in 2018, those were all manually moved. There were people behind the walls, basically puppeteers moving everything. He said that after they did the Chucky house, that really introduced a lot more automation into these mazes. So for instance, there's the beast thing at the end, and while the head, I think, is still manually controlled, he was saying the limbs are pneumatically automated. So it's just less people involved trying to make it happen. But I was surprised that, 2018, I would have assumed all that automation was already there. But I guess it's a more recent development. I remember when they had the Poltergeist house in 2018, and it looks like it's gonna be great again this year. At the end, you have to walk through all those coffins, and I think he said there were 6 live actors amidst all the dummies. So while you're walking through there, maybe just keep a tally in your head if you're afraid of how many are still yet to come. Or maybe they'll lay back and kind of mess up your count. Keep you on your toes. Like I said, it was amazing going through the house with Murdy. He's a genius. It was awesome hearing him talk about his craft. And the other one he showed us was the Jason Universe maze, and there's a lot of info that I have for you there. So tune in on the next video when I talk about that one. But thank you, Universal, for inviting us to check that out. Again, always been a dream of mine to walk through a maze with the light on, so I'm glad we got to do it. We will be at Halloween Horror Nights on opening night on September 4th. We are live streaming the red carpet. We did it last year. We're doing it again this year. Hopefully it's not 105 degrees again. Anyone who tuned in last year will remember how wet it was and how we only had hot Gatorade to drink. So this year, I think the weather will be better and we'll get to talk to all the guests. So make sure you tune in on Dead Meat on our YouTube channel for a very long live stream looking at Halloween Horror Nights opening night. See you there.